tonight pushed back. A major hospital expansion in the area gets a bigger price tag and a later completion date.
And investigation underway. Authorities are piecing together an abduction and police chase in northeastern Minnesota.
Plus, tech-sniffing dogs. How a new canine unit is helping the BCA solve unique crimes in Minnesota.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Essentia Health's Vision Northland Hospital expansion is expanding even more.
The hospital system will have to come up with an extra $100 million to pay for it.
CBS3's Ryan Campo explains why.
The now $900 million Vision Northland project in downtown Duluth will now be completed in the spring of 2023, 1 year behind schedule. It will be home to St. Mary's Medical Center and new clinic space. This delay and extra cost is not because of COVID-19, but because of additions to the original construction plans. They've now added 14,000 square feet to their blueprints, which includes another patient floor and more outpatient care spaces.
We found an opportunity to increase the footprint of the building for patient care, and we're glad that we did that because we are seeing a marked uptick in patient care over the past few months, and we anticipate that to continue.
You'll remember Essentia permanently laid off 900 employees across its entire system earlier this year. At the time, the hospital said that it took a $100 million hit due to low patient numbers during the pandemic.
More than half of the tradespeople working on the Vision Northland project are members of local unions. 9 subcontractors are headquartered in Duluth and 4 in Superior. When the biggest tower on the project is finished, it will stand 15 stories above First Street. It will also be the tallest building in Duluth.
An investigation is underway after an abduction and police chase through multiple northern Minnesota counties overnight. International Falls police say around 5 o'clock last night, a woman was forced into a van by a man she knew. About 3 hours later, authorities found that van driving on Highway 53 near Lake Kabetogama. Authorities started chasing it with speeds reaching 80 miles per hour. They eventually ended in a motel parking lot in Orr, about 60 miles from the abduction site. This is a photo of that scene sent to us from a viewer. The victim ran just before authorities heard a gunshot from inside the van. They found the suspect shot himself in the head. He was taken to a Duluth hospital with life-threatening injuries. The victim was also evaluated at a hospital. The BCA is still combing through the scene in Orr. International Falls police are leading the investigation.
Tonight, the Duluth Police Department is responding after learning an officer fired his weapon through a door Saturday night, striking a suspect on the other side.
That update came from the Minnesota BCA just minutes before our 10 o'clock newscast last night. The BCA said multiple people called 911 Saturday night reporting a domestic assault at an apartment near North 1st Avenue West and West 1st Street. When police arrived, officers said they heard 2 gunshots, and a witness said they heard loud sounds from inside the apartment.
BCA officials say at some point, Officer Tyler Liebfried fired his gun into the apartment door. He hit 23-year-old Jordan File in the shoulder. File was taken to the hospital and was eventually released and arrested. But police announced the next day that he would not be facing any charges in connection to the original domestic call.
Based on the preliminary investigation, the BCA reports no shots were fired from inside the apartment. They didn't find any firearms at the scene, but they did find a hatchet just inside the door. Liebfried has been with the Duluth Police Department for 5 years. He has been put on administrative leave, which is standard while officer-involved shooting investigations play out.
Now, after George Floyd's death at the hands of Minneapolis police, the Duluth Police Department clarified its use of force policy.
This latest officer-involved shooting is raising some questions. According to the department's policy, officers are required to use de-escalation techniques before resorting to force. It's not clear if that happened in this situation. Officers are required to issue a warning before firing their weapon and can only use deadly force if they believe their lives or the life of another is in imminent danger. Officers are also supposed to exhaust every alternative before shooting.
We asked police if this officer followed these policies in the incident over the weekend, including what de-escalation tactics were used and what alternatives he considered before firing.
We also asked if the Duluth Police Department considers firing through a closed door without a clear target to be in line with its policies. Duluth police have not responded to our questions.
And Dave's here for our first look at the weather. Dave, reasonable start to the day, but it's going to be much cooler tomorrow, huh?
That's right. Reasonable is a good word for it, Tony. It was pretty decent this morning. On the heels of yesterday's mini warm-up, we held on to warmer than normal conditions this morning. This morning's low temperatures were in the 40s and 50s around the area. That's not bad at all, but that will not happen again tomorrow morning because cool Arctic high pressure is taking over our region. That'll make it downright cold tomorrow morning with 20s and 30s coming around. And that means gardeners have to take care because we will have freeze warnings and frost advisories covering every community in our region. I'll show you a map on that in just a little bit. But first, I'll show you the day planner for Thursday. Frost in the morning, low temp around 32 here at the head of the lakes. We'll give way towards the sunnier sky brought in by the high, but that sunshine won't counterbalance chillier temperatures very well. Mid-50s is where we'll top out. That's cooler than normal, but our 7-day forecast holds a warm-up back to the 70s, which I'll point out with enthusiasm in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is calling for changes to the federal government's handling of the U.S. Census. He sent a letter to the U.S. Census Bureau urging them to reconsider a decision to end the 2020 census response period a month early. The original deadline was October 31st, but the Bureau announced in August it was moving it to September 30th to, quote, accelerate the completion of data collection. In his letter, Walz says the census shortening threatens the accuracy of population numbers.
Presidential candidate Joe Biden gave a hat tip to the Iron Range in a campaign statement Wednesday morning. In the statement, Biden shared how his Build Back Better plan would help create millions of high-paying union jobs in manufacturing and building new cars, bridges, water systems, transportation options, and more. Biden said his plan will restore critical supply chains. He also acknowledged endorsements by unions across the Iron Range. The statement also took aim at President Donald Trump. Now, Biden is expected to visit Minnesota Friday along with President Donald Trump. The president will be in Bemidji. Still no word on where Biden is expected to visit.
The city of Ashland is looking for bids to redevelop a portion of property on its waterfront. The Wisconsin city is seeking commercial development proposals for the project located at the Timeless Timber site on Lakeshore Drive East. It's part of the vision in the city's comprehensive and waterfront redevelopment plan. The city is looking for a project that complements the surrounding neighborhood, is successful for business, and will drive up tourism in the area. The deadline for proposals is October 12th. For more information, head to CBS3Duluth.com.
The damage from protests and riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin is topping $11 million. The damage occurred in the days following the police shooting of Jacob Blake in August. Shortly after, dozens of fires were set and numerous businesses were destroyed. At this time, there is no word on who is responsible for paying the damages.
Nearly $6 million in federal grant money is headed to Bayfield County to help boost road maintenance. The Red Cliff Band plans to use the investment to build a new transportation center with storage and office space. They will also buy new road construction equipment, snow plows, and 2 new transit buses.
This morning, the Minnesota BCA welcomed a new member to their canine unit. Soda, a 2-year-old British Labrador, joined the team as an electronic detection dog. Soda is the first electronic detection dog in the state. She will be used to sniff out cell phones, hard drives, USBs, and SD cards. She'll mostly work in child exploitation cases across Minnesota, along with homicides and financial crimes.
These types of evidence are critical to proving those cases to hold those accountable who choose to try to hurt our children across Minnesota.
A nonprofit called Operation Underground Railroad donated Soda to the BCA. They also covered up to $15,000 of her original training. The BCA will cover the expense of Soda's food, future training, and any equipment she'll need while on the job.
The Lincoln Park Community Solar Project hit its first milestone today. The first of 4 solar arrays was raised for the 40-kilowatt solar farm. Equilibrium 3, a nonprofit, is building the solar garden to help power a local veterans rehabilitation center. The power generated from the farm will cover about 25% of the electric costs. freeing up money to better serve the veterans. It will also help provide power to low-income families. The program coordinator says projects like this make a big impact on the community.
Local power generation is definitely a top priority for Equilibrium 3, and using solar as a way to support low-income households is really what we're all about.
The other 3 arrays will be raised sometime in October.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, a Duluth city worker is celebrating a big achievement today. Stay tuned to learn his secret to a lasting career.
Yesterday's high temperature was 10 degrees warmer than the normal of 65. Today's 1 degree shy. Tomorrow's 10 degrees short. So, cool down coming. How long will it last? I'll talk about it coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. CBS 3 News is brought to you by Steel Power Tools.
Numi Jewelers is a full-service jewelry store specializing in one-of-a-kind pieces and repairs. From a chain repair to a full custom piece, we'll get your jewelry looking new again. Stop in for a free repair estimate. Numi Jewelers, where true love is guaranteed.
Here is a peek at the West Duluth Super One Liquor location, a new and improved store right in your neighborhood. Super One Liquor has you covered for all of your party and gathering needs. We have a commitment to deliver outstanding service, variety, and top quality wine and spirits. And don't forget the best variety of ice-cold beer and beverages. Super One Liquor. Come for the service, leave with the savings.
Let's face it, it's been a tough year. But here in Minnesota, we're pretty tough too. We help each other, we work together, and we solve problems. That's what I try to do every day as your congressman. Like helping to save pensions for our union workers, standing with snowplow drivers during their strike, and fighting to lower health care costs for seniors and our most vulnerable. I'm Pete Stauber, and I approve this message because together we're fighting for our way of life.
For our seniors, Social Security is a sacred obligation, a sacred promise made. The current president is threatening to break that promise. He's proposing to eliminate a tax that pays for almost half the Social Security without any way of making up for that lost revenue. I will not let that happen. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Here's a crust too thick and cheesy not to eat in reverse. Keep it coming, buddy. That's right. Back it up. The one and only original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. Just $11.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
I've got one for you. See, You Care, health plan demystifiers and sleeve roller uppers.
You Care, health plan demystifiers and sleeve roller uppers.
Sounds so good when you say it. 96% of all providers accept You Care because they rock so hard.
96% of all providers accept You Care because they ride so hard. Can we pull over?
What's our tagline?
You Care, people-powered health plan.
So good.
Although we're socially distancing this year, we can still take part in the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance's first ever virtual Walk for Thought. Brain injury survivors still need your support, so I'm inviting you to join us on September 26th for our virtual Walk for Thought. Walk where you feel comfortable, and the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance will share your photos and videos online for one giant virtual Walk for Thought. We can all still help out, so sign up and donate today.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3. CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
After a one-day warm spell yesterday, things are going the other direction. Today, normal. Tomorrow, colder than normal, especially at the start, at dawn. Look at the cold air coming in from Canada. Freeze warning for most of northern Minnesota and a slice of Wisconsin. Frost advisory covers everybody else. Range of low temperatures roughly 27 to 32 or so. So, gardeners, if you have anything that survived the last couple of frost go-rounds, this one's going to threaten them again, so do what you can to keep things going. And, you know, having worked the farmers market for a few years in the recent past here, with a little bit of care, you can keep things going into October around here, which is hard with our chilly climate. Right now, not so chilly at the airport. 58 degrees isn't anything to set records, but it's also 58 above. 47%, that's the relative humidity. And our wind's northwesterly, it's going 10 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 1,014 inches of mercury. It's a little bit higher than when we last chatted at 5. Showing that the high pressure system is crossing the border to clear our sky and keep that wildland fire smoke from out west away for a couple of days. You notice it was a little bluer and a little less hazy today, and that's going to keep that stuff at bay for a couple of days. Current temps in the Upper Peninsula are both 58s from Watersmeet to Ironwood, 61 in Ashland, just a hair warmer in Hayward, 62 degrees the current temp in Superior, upper 50s for Moose Lake, and upper 50s for a lot of the North Shore, lower 50s for a lot of the interior parts of the Arrowhead here right now. Low temps tonight, again, could go from around 27 International Falls to maybe 34, 35 degrees as you get towards Ashland, and even that's on the brisk side. So, yeah, again, gardeners, do what you can, do what you have to do. And right now, here's what we're going to take a look at. The Doppler map shows that higher pressure crossing the border into our region is chasing away that thin cloud deck and that haze as well with clear, fresh northern air. So there's a polite way to look at our cool down. And could folks in the south use a cool down? Probably. It's warm, it's humid down there, and they're dealing with Tropical Storm Sally, which is expected to bring 6 to 8 inches of rain a day from Alabama towards the Carolinas before it finally gets pushed into the Atlantic and Friday afternoon. So again, as always, we keep our fingers crossed for folks to the south, and we cast our aspirations and attention up to our neck of the woods where that cool high pressure cell likely will hold on to us from Thursday through Sunday. Our next rain chance may not come around until Sunday night, and even that's not a decent one. So we take a look at the 7-day forecast and see that Minnesota's range of temperatures indeed goes from a cool at 27 inland to maybe 37 right by the lake. For Wisconsin and Michigan, low to mid-30s there, 32 towards 35 degrees. Clear and cold across the board for everybody. Then sunny and cool for everybody tomorrow. Wisconsin, Michigan highs tomorrow with sunshine. Mid to upper 50s for a lot of towns. And same deal goes on for Minnesota there. That's cooler than normal, and it'll stay cool through Friday. So Friday morning may be a frosty adventure as well. But then the moderation in temperatures comes across for the weekend. 60s come back. Sunday night, Monday morning gets a slight rain chance. And then the 70s come back, Tony and Kristen. Oh, that means 75 possible on Tuesday.
Boy, will that be nice, huh?
That sure will be. You know, we were hoping for 80 yesterday, and that fell a little bit flat, but not bad. So if this falls flat, and instead of 75, we got 72, this time of year, I'll take it.
I will keep banking 70s as long as we can. Thanks, Dave. A big achievement for a City of Duluth employee today, a half a century in the making.
CBS3's Leanne Valdez introduces us to Robert Oslason and shares his secret to a very long career.
Robert Oslason knows hard work.
Oh, yes, some days are longer than others.
Just ask his coworkers.
Bob's work is really evident throughout the community, whether it's...
Or just look at his track record. On Wednesday, Oslason marked 50 years as an assistant Duluth city attorney.
So I've worked with a number of people, engineers, accountants, finance people, as well as mayors.
Oslason's work can be seen pretty much anywhere you go in Duluth.
You look over there, you can see the top of the Maurice's office building. I was the city's attorney on that project, for example. I was also the city's attorney on the North Shore Theater redevelopment project.
Oslason says while the work is in some ways the same, there is always something new for him to do.
Always something different, always something challenging, always a problem or a set of problems that need to be solved.
That, along with the people.
Bob's knowledge and depth and commitment, I mean, it is all such a tremendous gift to the city.
Hopefully for years to come.
As Mickey Mantle once said in his later years, if I'd have known I was going to live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself.
City officials also held a small celebration for Oslason this afternoon. By the way, he and his wife are also celebrating 53 years of marriage this year. Another big accomplishment. Congratulations.
Still ahead in sports, a change in heart, how the Big Ten decided to make football happen.
Up to 60% off on summer clothing and footwear from the North Face in Columbia at Northwest Outlet.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Slumberland's huge Labor Day sale ends Saturday. Get this stylish, comfy sectional for just $9.98 and get the storage ottoman free. Or an incredible price on the Sealy Posturepedic Queen mattress. Plus, get free shipping with no minimum. The Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
At Lift Pro International, we have custom designed and fabricated lifting, weighing, and rigging solutions for more than 40 years. With a worldwide presence and reputation, we need world-class insurance to match. This is why we trust Cindy of Vernon Insurance to make sure we're fully covered no matter where in the world we're doing business.
Protect your home, vehicle, or business, and your peace of mind. Call Cindy at Vernon Insurance today.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The affordable new MX series has a lot to offer. The versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade, and clear brush and snow. A spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. Excellent loader lift capacity, hydrostatic or gear transmission options, and built to get every job done right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
No one serves you better than Lulich Implement.
When COVID struck, President Trump took action, cut off travel from China, the source of the virus. Joe Biden criticized, politicized, attacked President Trump's leadership. And what does Biden now propose while the pandemic still smolders around the globe? Increasing refugees by 700% from the most unstable, vulnerable, dangerous parts of the world. America can't afford weak Joe Biden. Times like these call for real leadership.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Tune in Saturday mornings for the Link Ford lineup, where we will show you amazing vehicles on our lot, like this 2012 Ford F-150 XLT with a 6.5-foot truck bed, a remote start, and more for just $302 a month. Or check out this 2017 Chevy Trax LT for only $249 a month. Want to see more? Then be sure to watch this Saturday. Visit us online at linkmotors.com or stop by to view our complete inventory. Link Ford, where reputation is everything.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day.
Watch Eye on Mining with Kristen Vaki every Tuesday at 10. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association, Range Regional Airport, and Miners National Bank of Evelyn. Only on live, local CBS3. For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Incredible savings on mattresses during the big Sealy sale now at Slumberland. Get a Sealy Queen mattress as low as $99 or a luxurious Sealy Posturepedic for $9.99 plus free shipping. The big Sealy sale at Slumberland.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on live, local CBS3.
The answer in whether or not the Big Ten Conference will get to have college football this year has never been a clear-cut one, especially as of late. A lot of speculation, a lot of pushback, but as of today, the league has decided to go forward. Big Ten football is officially set to resume the weekend of October 24th. League presidents and chancellors voted unanimously to start competition back up. The conference feels they have now adopted enough medical protocols to safely resume. Those protocols include requiring student athletes, coaches, trainers, and other individuals that are on the field for all practices and games to undergo daily antigen testing. Even with all those testings and all those protocols that are being implemented, players and coaches are just thrilled to be getting back to football.
We were so thankful. Everybody was so excited to be back playing football, doing what we love, whether it's coaching, whether it's playing, especially with the new safety protocols in place. I think you kill two birds with one stone with that. You've got the people who are really concerned over the health and the safety from day one, and then the people who just really wanted to play. And I think it combines that in a very safe environment for all of our student athletes, which is the number one thing on all of our minds.
And Wisconsin Athletic Director Barry Alvarez echoed that the decision to go forward came after learning much more about how to keep players and personnel safe.
The medical questions that were out there, without them being answered, there's no way we could put our student athletes back on the field. But now we have answers. The testing is an answer. The dealing with the heart situation is, we have answers to that protocol. Contact tracing is answered. All those were answered, and that's, you know, in the end, that's the reason we move forward, because the safety questions were answered, the medical questions were answered.
And that's the medical side of things. The fun side of things is scheduling. No, teams will not get as many games as they do in a typical season. They will play 8 games in 8 weeks before the Big Ten Championship on December 19th. And speaking of will they or won't they, for the past month, high school football and volleyball players have been left without hope of a fall season for their respective sports after the Minnesota State High School League made the decision to push them back to the spring. But as of today, there may still be hope for football and volleyball this fall. Blaine Novak, the president of the Minnesota State High School League Board of Directors, has called for a special meeting on Monday morning. There's only one item listed on the agenda, and that's to reconsider their initial decision on the placement of fall activities. It will be held in a virtual format. The meeting comes after significant pushback on their initial decision. Nearby states, including Wisconsin, Iowa, North and South Dakota, and Michigan, have all given the schools the option to play their sports this fall. Wisconsin's football opener is next week. In a statement, MSHSL Executive Director Eric Martin said that this meeting will be a continuation of very important discussions and decisions. So we will wait and see. But coming up tonight, we will hear local reaction from players and coaches regarding the league's decision to meet. For now, Kristen and Tony, I'll send it back to you.
A lot of people will be looking forward to that. Thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, a Duluth woman and minority business owner was recently given a big award. Tonight at 10, we'll hear from the nonprofit founder and social worker about her story and her work in fostering opportunities for minority business owners. Well, you could be the new owner of a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton.
Oh.
Yeah, all you need is about $6 to $8 million bucks.
Chump change.
And Stan the T-Rex could be all yours.
All right. Well, he's an oldie but a goodie, and I do mean old. Stan walked the earth some 67 million years ago. Now his skeleton will be displayed at Christie's in New York before he's auctioned off on October 6th. Stan is 13 feet tall, 40 feet long, and made up of 188 bones. He's quite the looker, as one of the largest and most complete T-Rex skeletons in the world. The first of his bones were found in parts of Montana, North and South Dakota, and Wyoming in 1987, just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, I hope he makes his way to a museum. That would be great.
Better. Yeah.
Well, Dave, that cool down still coming. I know it's kind of here already, but even cooler overnight, right?
Yeah, cold enough for frost advisories and freeze warnings for our gardeners. This is a difficult time of year when you're trying to nurse things along, at least for a couple more weeks. Cool weather could be with us through Friday, so it could be another frosty morning come Friday morning, but then we moderate for the weekend with 70s by Tuesday.
All right, we'll see you at 10.